I am back, and I am talking about another movie that I saw recently since the quarantine. And these movies I've seen pretty much since the quarantine started, and I've seen it. You know, all these movies that I've talked about, I've seen in a single sitting with my wife. Um, so yeah, it's been like maybe I've seen a movie once a week. So yeah. But here's weird today. But the movie that I wanted to talk about this time around is a movie that I wanted to see again in the theater, even though I wasn't expecting that much, because the last one, actually the last couple of movies have not been good in this franchise, and that's Terminator: Dark Fate. I saw Genesis. Genesis. It's not Genesis because that's not how they do it, but um, I like the Terminators franchise. The first one, amazing horror movie. The second one, amazing action movie. And I really, really like Terminator 2. I like 1 and 2 equally. There's a lot of people that like the second one and kind of dump on the first one. There's a lot of people that love the first one, dump on the second one. I love both equally. I'm sorry, I can't choose one over the other. 1 and 2, perfect movies. And then Rise of the Machines, didn't like that one that much. Then Salvation had some good moments, but wasn't that good. Then the TV show was really good. If you have a chance to watch Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles, that one was really good. And then they made Genesis with that's what I would call it, Genesis, with the Game of Thrones chicks, Khaleesi, um, and Schwarzenegger was in it too. And I like parts of that movie, but it was not a good movie. The 11th Doctor from Doctor Who was also there, and I didn't like what they did with John Connor. I liked the relationship between Sarah Connor and the Terminator. I thought that was cool, and the different twist they made with Cal Reese, like they, it's kind of like a reboot of the first one where they send Cal Reese back to save Sarah Connor, but Sarah Connor is a badass, and she already has a Terminator protecting her, and he's like, "What the fudge?" But then they do something weird with John Connor in the future, and it's just really, really weird. I don't know. There's parts of that I like, but overall, it's not a good movie. And so they decided to make this one, and this one erases everything except 1 and 2. So 2 happens. They stop Judgment Day, but Skynet still sends a couple of Terminators as backup plan, maybe, to kill John Connor. And big spoiler alert, but really it's an old movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know how much I'm going to spoil. One of these Terminators kills John Connor. Just flats out kills him. And Sarah Connor's like, holy shit, I thought we stopped Judgment Day. And they kind of did, but it didn't erase the Terminators that were already in the past. So, weird. And so that changes. They already changed the future, but there's still Terminators left over from that future. And but it doesn't still create Skynet. Instead, they introduce a new AI called Legion that also creates Terminators, also wipes out humanity. And they send this lady that's like cyberpunked out because she has not genetic, but she has like metallic enhancement that makes her stronger, faster. But her metabolism, her body doesn't adapt very well to it. Every time she uses her super strength or super speed, her body kind of like goes down, so she has to inject all these weird drugs. And her mission is to protect this chick who is going to not give birth to the leader of the resistance. She herself is the leader of the resistance. And they meet up with Sarah Connor, and because she's become like this Terminator hunter, she hunts down Terminators. And there's this new Terminator, the Rev 9, I think they call it, that is kind of like a T-800 along with the T-1000. So it's kind of like, it still has the liquid metal thing, but it can split between a Terminator robot and the liquid Terminator. So you got two, it's a tag team between these two robots, and they work independently. And so they're being outnumbered by this thing, and they go looking for help, and they find the Terminator that's played by Arnold Schwarzenegger that killed John Connor, but kind of grew a conscience and started raising a family. So all this hubbub starts happening, and it's just to stop this Rev 9 Terminator. And good action moments. It really had some. I'll give that the movie that it had some really good action sequences, but the story makes no sense, and it does really feel like the fact that they killed John Connor's like, forget your crappy movie. John Connor said, we're introducing this new girl power chick, and she's the savior. And there's a lot of girl power in this, and it doesn't work to the. It's not detriment to the movie because in the contents of the movie it's okay, but it really kind of felt really forced. It kind of like Captain Marvel. It also had that girl power moment. But again, nothing against that. It works for the movie, but it does kind of like it does kind of seem like in your face, and just really weird. Like, it's like they really tried to make this a continuation to the franchise while ignoring everything else, and it worked for at least for me. It worked for Halloween, the 2018 Halloween that came out. Did not work for Terminator. It's a good action movie, at least for the action sequences. But if you love Terminator, this kind of does take a dump on your love for Terminator. At least that's how I felt. So I would give this movie 2 out of 5 Liquid Terminators. It's good. It's great to see. I forgot her name. It's great to see the original actress that played Sarah Connor come back, just like Jamie Lee Curtis came back on Halloween. They did the same with her. And it was good seeing her. She still gives a great performance. She still looks like really buffed. But yeah, it's not that good a movie, so I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's not good. It's not bad, but it's not that good. So yeah, I'll see you guys back, guys, with another and probably the last of these reviews. But I'll see you soon. Bye.